We are live and in color. It's the Real Kyper and Bourne Show, Season 5. The Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandale. We are live on SPORTSNET 360, SPORTSNET 650 in Vancouver, 960 in Calgary, and streaming always on SPORTSNET Plus. If you miss our show, find us, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. This hour, Real Kyper and Bourne, brought to you by Bet365. In a few minutes, Jason Gregor has done a nice job for us over the last few years. Sports 1440 in Edmonton is his station. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Covers the Oilers as good as anybody.
Yes, no doubt about
Big
that.
win. Didn't start off early well for them, but they are the Edmonton Oilers. They do have the best player in the world, and kind of surfaced last night.
Yeah.
In Edmonton. Outside of that, Sammy, we are 2-2, my friend. 2-2.
Oh, I missed it. I was watching Leafs. I was doing Leafs talk. Didn't see the game.
Oh, you didn't see anything at all? Did you hear that the Blue Jays won?
Yes, I heard.
First he's hearing of it, yeah.
That's good.
I heard. Yeah.
Did you have, I was thinking you were probably doing Leaf Talk when Vladdy hit the two-run homer. Did you react on air?
Well, it's a long story, but our thing, we were streaming and then it crashed halfway through for some reason. And then as we were sitting there figuring it out, I had my phone up and I watched him hit the home run live on my phone. So it was good. I know we've been doing too much Jays. People are probably whining about the Jays.
I don't care.
But
I really don't care. I don't want to hear it because
Big in Canada. Right?
we're excited. But we're excited.
We are. Gotta be
So
authentic.
how do you... That's what they told us right from the beginning when we first started this show.
Be who you are.
Be you guys.
I just have. Oh, go ahead. No, man.
As if Vladdy Guerrero Jr.'s 26 hits are second most in MLB history for a postseason.
I'm just. I mean, I'm
right?
in my feels about this team, man. To come off of that heartbreaking loss, 18 innings, everybody pitches, everybody plays, and to come back less than 24 hours later, and much less than 24 hours later, and just put out a gritty effort where everybody contributes again. The bottom of the order, driving in runs. These guys are just different, man. I'm done doubting. It's unbelievable.
This is why we have to talk about it, because this isn't baseball. It isn't hockey. It's sport, and it's human behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So, to Sammy's point, to go through all of that the way they did, to have the heartbreak, and then to come right back, just not come back against the greatest baseball player in the history of the game.
Yeah.
And Vladdy in particular, to hit that home run, I think that home run's going to go down right there with what George Springer did a week and a half ago and what Joe Carter did. Like, it's in that family of a home run that, for me, is memorable.
You know, we're privileged in this role to get to deal with some people who've had a lot of pro sporting success, and not to get too into it, but we got a nice message from Craig Simpson, who's pulling for the Jays. And, you know, he told us a story about how when they were, I believe it was in Boston, they had a triple overtime game in the Cup final.
Klima.
Really deep. Everyone,
Peter Klima.
you know, on their last legs, they get a win. And that win, to lose that way and have to go back and play the next day, Boston just, you know, was cooked. The Oilers beat them 7-1 the next night. That was that. Or was it Calgary? No, it was the Oilers, sorry.
Yeah.
Oilers.
So
Bruins.
the Oilers beat them 7-1 the next game. Like, Boston just didn't have it in them. For the Jays to take that loss in 18 innings and come back the next day and
Against
Ohtani.
And they touched him up. 4 earned runs, like
Yeah.
the top of the seventh inning, which, boy, I'm loving the seventh inning. But, you know, Ernie Clement again almost takes him out, second and third, nobody out.
Smash that.
And, you know, they bring in Ty France. He gets a dribble. Like, literally everybody is contributing to this. And it's unlike anything. I saw Dan Schulman send out a tweet today with, like, some numbers about the Jays. I think the 6 through 9 in their order is hitting 272 with 35 runs driven in those
crushing.
playoffs.
Their bottom three
Crushing.
in the order are an all-star in the regular season, essentially.
It's unbelievable.
They are crushing
Jimenez
the
is a
Dodgers
dog, man. He's
when they go.
It's just I'm so, regardless of what happens from here on out,
Yeah.
I am I feel blessed to watch this team. I'm
going to remind you that when you hit low points in our chat room.
Listen, that's who I am. I'm never going to not do that, boys. So you can just mute me. That's fine. But like this guy's like double wins, Jays, Leafs. It was the 6th inning. 7th inning. I was like, good God,
I
man.
wasn't wrong.
No, you weren't wrong. Obviously, it doesn't have an effect.
It was over.
Simmer, too. I was like, boys, let's easy on the curses.
The energy off of them. Like, they just
started getting a text and going, oh,
but
no,
I almost threw my phone in the river. I was like, I got to go to the river and throw it in.
They won't be denied. They just refuse to be denied.
Bassett, man, like,
Now, saying that,
wily vet.
You really got to win tonight. You don't, that guy who's waiting in game 6, that he could be a problem.
That is an issue, no question. I mean, I think any Jays fan listening to this would agree that going into tonight against Blake Snell, who they saw in game 1, they've all seen Blake Snell a million times. They know what Blake Snell has to offer. Like, they have a chance to touch up Blake Snell like they have every other pitcher that they've played against. But you need the lead tonight to go home to have the buffer of not having your season end with Yamamoto on the hill. So we'll see.
I know that I am not immersed enough in baseball enough to answer this question.
Yeah.
But watching Snell pitch that game, watching Yamamoto pitch his game, it's crazy to me that Yamamoto was not the first guy out of the gates in game 1. Yeah. Like, I don't know if it was something with the timing or health or whatever.
Because they swept the Dodgers. Everybody was on regular rest.
Snell was under a 1 ERA. And, I know all that, but how do you not go to that Yamamoto first? Yeah. Anyway.
I'm really enjoying pretending to be a baseball guy.
Oh, it's been great. It's been so great.
Okay.
Hey,
and then, Barker and Blair
now I know what it feels like to be on the other side.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say. Like, I do baseball. You guys go away for 4 months. I do baseball all summer. Yeah. Like, I'm in the fight of it the whole time. So I'm so excited. I really have a nervous excitement energy about tonight. This is one of the biggest games in Toronto sports history tonight. It is.
I do wish it didn't fall on 16 hockey games last night. It would have been nice to surf a little bit more. Is that really bad for the next hour and 40 minutes of our show?
A lot of today.
No, I did watch the Leafs though. The Leafs are our show that we cover the most, obviously, with the Leaf Hour edition. So I had to pay it and it was at 6 p.m. Eastern, which helped.
Did help.
Do you know that there is one game in the National Hockey League tonight? And it is the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Columbus Blue Jackets. They should have just done a rain out. Move it to do a doubleheader next.
Just take a point each and call it a day.
Like,
do we know why?
Well, they had 16 yesterday, and now they have one tonight. Yeah.
Couldn't you had 12 last night and a few more tonight?
It's weird to have one game tonight, but
no, ESPN likes that frozen frenzy.
Did
you try to flip it all like past 8 o'clock?
Yeah, I had the second screen going, bouncing around, but it's tough, certainly. Enough to see the major outcomes. I saw the Pittsburgh-Philly chaos at the end of their game. That was wild. JT Miller's return to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Very businesslike on
Garland now out. Like they are struggling with injuries. Like that's
Garland's
a brutal.
Awesome.
I know.
He's off to a great start.
Connor Bedard coming around, Kippy.
He heard the Celebrini talking.
Yeah.
Oh, watch this.
Well, he looked electric last night, boys. Yeah. He can fire the puck.
Yeah, he can fire the puck. No question. I don't think he's in a position like Celebrini to garner the attention of Team Canada yet. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that can't happen as we continue to progress. And it's sneaking up too, eh? Like November, December.
Well, and they had to file some sort of preliminary list a few weeks ago. Kind of letting the Olympic Committee know kind of who roughly may be coming I assume for insurance purposes.
Yeah.
But so
security, I guess, passports, I don't know, background checks.
Oh, drug testing too.
Drug testing.
So they're thinking about it. This is not.
And Connor Bedard tied for 28th in league scoring now, up to 12 points in 10 games, tied with Mitch Marner.
There you go.
So pretty good.
Buzzing.
Good start for him.
Jason Gregor will join us momentarily. Could the Oilers have gotten through something last night to kind of free them up a little bit?
Mm-hmm. It's funny just watching the highlights of that game, seeing McDavid gets his 2 goals. I did a little pre-show thing on Hockey Central about how he had 1 goal through 10 games, but lots of shots. And not as many as usual for him. But
could you pinpoint anything in particular that led him to such a slow start putting the puck in the net?
No. I don't know, but like for me, a lot of the off ice stuff seems to affect guys going into the year, right? Guys who have contract disputes. Connor didn't have a contract dispute, but he did have, I guess, some overhanging baggage. So hopefully he's through that part of the year.
Well,
now.
we'll ask our next guest the same question here. Jason Gregor joins us. You can catch his show on Sports 1440 in Edmonton. It's the Jason Gregor Show. How are you, pal?
Fellas, what's happening?
We're good. We're good. You didn't have the luck. We covering the Leafs. They gave us an early start. I guess you didn't get the same luxury, right?
No, 7:30 our time. But
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I was watching the Jays game a lot more intently.
It's a good Canadian boy.
Okay, so
World Series, boys, come on.
we're right there with you, man. We're right there. But as far as what we saw or heard of or watched on the highlights last night against a pretty strong team out of the gate in Utah, what's the general feeling? Like the floodgates opened up a little bit last night?
Well, the Oilers' best players showed up. Like that, you can have your depth guys, help you periodically, and that's what you need to win. But ultimately, when your best players are your best players, you're going to have more chance of success, and that's what happened last night. Ekholm and Bouchard had not been very good together at all. Like Ekholm has been on for 12 goals against 5-on-5 in the first 10 games, right? Bouchard was 9. Like they weren't very good defensively, and offensively. Connor McDavid. The reason why he's not scoring goals, guys, he's not shooting. He came into the game last night at 2.8 shots per game. That's the lowest total of his career, except his rookie season. And, now I know that his outlier year was when he averaged 4.29 shots per game and he had 64 shots. That's the outlier. Like I've talked to Connor about it. He knows he should shoot more, but he's like, man, it doesn't come natural to me. I'm a passer, and he's looking to pass. And I think that, scoring that first goal with Nugent Hopkins where you had no choice, you have to shoot it. I think him getting a goal is like, okay, I can shoot the puck. And, it helps when your big guns show up. They got some depth scoring too. Howard scored, Ty Emberson, who's not an offensive defenseman by any stretch, scores. And so that helps. But ultimately it was Draisaitl, McDavid, Bouchard, Ekholm, who got some offense going. And they scored 5 goals in the second period, all 5-on-5. And I'll say this about Utah. Like, if you go on NHL Edge and if you watch the games, Edmonton, Colorado, Utah are the 3 fastest teams in the NHL, and the numbers back it up. That game was really fast last night. Cooley can absolutely fly, and that team's young, guys. But I'm telling you, they're going to compete for a playoff spot this year, and they're not a complete project yet, but they're a team to be reckoned with because they can really move the puck. The first period, they were all over Edmonton. Although Edmonton was like a pastry, they were turning over the puck at the offensive blue line all the time. So, but Utah, I'm impressed by them. I really like their speed.
So I wrote an article today for Sportsnet.ca on on the Bizarro Atlantic. Like the standings are kind of flipped from how they typically are in that division. So I wrote about what's real and what's not. Right now, the Oilers are in 4th in the Pacific, trailing Vegas, Seattle, and LA. What are they really? I know that's probably not where we have them talent-wise.
Yeah, well, Edmonton, as Ekholm said, it's the best start they've ever had since he's been here. Like they're not a good starting
hilarious.
team
Yeah.
in October, and here they are. They're 5-4-2, which is not a great record, but they historically stubbed their toe in October, and we can discuss till the cows come home why, but I don't really know the answer. So part of it has to do with losing the cup. If you look at teams who lose the cup outside of Boston in 2020. They don't have great starts that next season, so that's part of it. Their best guys weren't their best guys, which is funny because they were the ones basically since captain skates in early September talking about the need for a good start, and it just didn't happen. It's one game. We'll see how they play against the Rangers. It's going to be a much different game. New York is much more defense-oriented than Utah is, so we'll see if they can get by them and Shesterkin, who didn't play last night. But Edmonton, Seattle's a mirage, guys. I'm sorry. Seattle's not a team that's going to be better than Edmonton at the end of the season. And, it'll be Edmonton, L.A., Vegas, most likely. And, unlike previous years, Vegas hasn't gotten off to, an unbelievable start where they would be, 9-1 or anything. So Edmonton isn't that deep of a hole, which actually helps them. There's years they actually had to gain 20 points. They were 20 points behind Vegas at one point, right? They're only 3 now, so that helps them.
You're watching and listening to the host of the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440 in Edmonton. So as far as Bouchard is concerned, earlier this season, I think he had that giveaway in the island that, if I'm not mistaken, Ray Ferraro was covering the game for ESPN and maybe said it was one of the worst he's ever seen his whole life. And is it just par for the course with this guy, or are we hearing it a little bit more to start this season based on the fact that maybe he's got a richer contract, or again, is it just comes with the territory of having this guy?
Well, hey, when you make $10.5 million, the expectations are higher. There's no question. And, Bouchard, he doesn't want to give the puck away. Like, Bouchard would like to be considered for the Olympic team, but if he keeps having the giveaways, guys, it's just not going to happen, right? Now, the thing with Bouchard is there's very few guys who can elevate their game significantly in the playoffs year after year after year. And he's done that, right? And he did it last year without Matthias Ekholm, kind of the security blanket that people thought was the reason he was good. So that's gone. And so there's kind of like two sides to Bouchard. There's early season Bouchard where some days you almost have to be like, yeah, it's frustrating, but he's shown he doesn't do it when the games matter. And, one of his best traits is he's pretty even keel. He doesn't get too excited, when the pressure's on, which I think is why he's good at it. But he also doesn't get excited sometimes, if he makes a glaring error. So I guess it's a good trait, but it has pros and cons at different times of the season. And obviously he's got to turn down the giveaways. I will say this, like if you look, and I think it was Mike Kelly or Kevin Woodley, they were talking about, giveaways that led to a scoring chance within like 3 or 4 seconds of the giveaway. And Bouchard was right there in the top 5. But if you look at all the defensemen in the top 5, it's guys who have the puck the most. So I think in Edmonton, it gets focused on a lot because he's done it a lot, but other guys do it. When he makes a giveaway, guys, it's like, God, it's like a 9 or a 10. It's like he's like, hey, if I'm going to make it a giveaway, I might as well make it a good one, right? It's kind of like when you're teenage kids, like, hey, if you're going to break curfew, you might as well make it worth it, right? Like you don't show up at 12:02, you might as well show up at 2:02 because breaking curfew is breaking curfew. So that seems to be his MO. It's obviously frustrating for Oilers fans, and I get why people get upset about it. And I think for Bouchard, where it's going to cost him is going to be on the Olympic team. If he really wants to be there, if he keeps having a giveaway, like the major ones, you're going to have giveaways, guys. But if he's going to have the major ones, he's just not going to be in consideration for that team.
I'm going to say the nerdiest thing, so nerdy it might get me kicked off the station, is just I also think there's something with the giveaways where it's like the priming effect in psychology, right? Like where we are primed to watch this guy when he turns it over. You notice it every single time because it's like, all right, we're talking about it. So I think there's something with the way we watch Bouchard that's different too. As you mentioned, he has the puck all the time.
Yeah, well, I point that out all the time. Like the best advice I got from a scout early in my career was he said, when you start focusing on what a player doesn't do, you miss all the things they do. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the case. Like Bouchard's pass to Draisaitl the other game was unbelievable. And like there's very few guys who can make that pass, quick turn in your own zone, fired on the tape, in motion to Draisaitl at the far blue line, scores on a breakaway. Like the list of guys who can do that's pretty small. And he will make a lot of good, really subtle plays in a game, but sometimes it gets erased because people and human nature seem to focus, this one bad mistake. Oh my God, that really bothers me. They made 10 really nice plays. Yeah, but they don't seem to excite me as much. It's an odd thing for sports. But I think if we looked at it from a deep psychology standpoint, I think you're right.
Yeah, there's definitely an element there of that for me. So looking at the Oilers this year, and I don't want to talk about the rookies, but I do want to hear about their new players. Mangiapane, Roslovic, I don't know if you count Frederick, but Tomasek as well. How have the new additions fared so far through 10 games?
Well, they've added speed to the lineup. There's no question. I think Jack Roslovic, you got to remember, Roslovic, excuse me. He didn't have a training camp, didn't have preseason. His first few games looked like a guy trying to play catch up. His last 3 games has been really good. I don't know if you guys saw the move he made. He hit the goalpost, but he danced around some defenders, and I was like, was that 97 or was 28? So he can really skate. I knew he was a good skater. I didn't know he was this good of a skater. So he's added a lot of speed. He's really good with the puck. Like he makes a lot of good plays. So I think playing him with Draisaitl and Podkolzin, there's a good mix there. Podkolzin's a relentless worker who will get the puck to those two guys, and I think it's going to work. Mangiapane doesn't shoot very much at all, which doesn't help the Oilers. Like I'm not sure how long you can keep him on McDavid's line if he never shoots, but he works hard. He's a depth guy. When I look at Edmonton's roster come playoff time, I'm not sure the one we see today is what you're going to see in the playoff. I don't think you can win in the postseason with Savoy, on Mangiapane, and Roslovic, and Nugent Hopkins, and Howard, who are all different style, but none of them are overly aggressive, right? They're not overly big. I think you can have a few of them. I just don't know if you can have 5 of them. So that's something to watch for. Tomasic is, he's an older guy. He's good net front presence. He's not afraid to shoot the puck. Not the quickest guy. I think he's probably better as a winger than he is as a center iceman. And he's probably a guy who could maybe help you on your net front presence on the power play, at least until Hyman comes back. And then it's probably more of a fourth line guy, but he's good. He's good defensively. So if he's on your fourth line and he's a big, heavy body, I think he gives you another dimension. So I don't mind him. Frederick's first 7 games, guys, were not good. His last few games, he's kind of woken up. He's starting to play physical. He's skating. He looks a lot better. So, that's helped. He's not doing a ton offensively, and he admitted it's kind of impacted him confidence-wise. But overall, I'd say it's been pretty good if you consider the 5 guys who left. They didn't have much production early on last season, so they're getting production there. And Ike Howard's got 2 goals. Matt Savoy, has played well. Now, when Hyman comes back, I'm curious, what's going to happen with the lineup.
So
because everybody bumps down, and if Ike Howard's only playing 8 to 10 minutes a night, at some point you're going to send him to the American League. Right? But I think it's great opportunity, and it's a great paycheck to be in the NHL for a month, learn the game, see what you've got to work on, and then go down to the American League and really work on it, playing 20 minutes a night. And then hopefully they recall him later on in the year, and then he doesn't go back.
Jason, just to follow up on that, how far are we away from a Zach Hyman sighting, and who out of the guys that you just mentioned could be affected by it the most?
Well, it's a good question. They only dressed 11 forwards last night for the first time. I think they just wanted to get Troy Stetcher some playing time. He hasn't played a lot. So Hyman and Regula, big Alex Regula is coming back too. And I think when he comes back, Troy Stetcher is probably going to go on waivers. And then the forward, I would think it's Ike Howard. Like, you have Curtis Lazar here. He can be your 13th forward, right? He's a veteran guy, doesn't play a lot. It doesn't make sense to have Howard as your 13th forward. So my initial guess is it's probably going to be Howard. It doesn't mean it's going to be long-term, but he doesn't require waivers, and he's a young player who needs to play more than 10 minutes a night. So that would be the guy, I think. I've liked his game. It's just he's not getting enough opportunity yet. And when Hyman comes in, that's a legit top 9 forward, was top 6 forward. So he comes in and everybody bumps down a bit, right? So I would think if Hyman comes back, you might see Nugent Hopkins go back to third line center, where he's been really good. He's actually been their best forward through the start of the season. And then it kind of moves other guys around. And that means, Henrique or Phil, maybe Henrique moves to the wing, which means Ike Howard probably goes down.
Seeing the team early in the season without Jake Wallman, then seeing them with Jake Wallman makes you think this guy's pretty important, huh?
Well, their top 5 defense is pretty good. Now, Bouchard and Nurse will have a few giveaways that, make you pull your hair out. Not in my case, but in the case of a lot of other people. But their 5 defense are really good. Their top 5. And Alex, I'll tell this about Regula. Like, they got him on waivers from Boston last year, and that could look like a real find. He's big body. Moves the puck was very poised with the puck. Now, he doesn't use his size a lot. When you see a big guy, you'd like him to lean on somebody, but could he become Mikko Mikkola? Right? I think they'd be very happy if he could become that type of player. Long, rangy, moves the puck well. Isn't overly physical, but also isn't a shrinking violet. And so, yeah, their D with Wallman definitely really rounds it out and kind of calms maybe Nurse's game down a little bit. They seem to play quite well together. So their defense is fine. I still think they're going to need another shooter on the wing, guys, before the deadline. And, they'll probably, at bare minimum, I think they'll be looking to upgrade their backup goaltending. We'll see.
A lot of teams, and I've talked about the Toronto Maple Leafs in this case, if they are looking for that guy that you just mentioned, the Leafs might have a tougher time because the cupboards are so bare in terms of what they have to offer for someone maybe in their prime. Like, where is Edmonton now on adding pieces and what they could potentially give up to get that piece that can finally put them over the top?
Yeah, well, they're definitely, like, their first round pick next year is in play again. Like, I think that's, for the next 3 trade deadlines with McDavid here, minimum time, like, that's going to be in play every year. And they got some other young forwards, like, it might be a Savoy or a Howard. I know some people, now it's only those guys if the guy you get is on term. I don't see them trading away players that, could help you that for somebody who's just a rental. Like, if you look at the Oilers, like, they got Wallman. sign him an extension. They got Ekholm. He had multiple years left. They signed him to an extension. They haven't just made their big splashes at the deadline on rentals. They acquired Trent Frederick, signed him to a long-term deal. So I think they have a plan here that we want guys who can not just help us for one run, who can help us for multiple runs. And so then if you do that, then they're more willing to want to give up a young high-end prospect. Now, they don't have a ton, guys. Let's be honest here. You know, you've got Savoy, you've got Ike Howard, not a lot after that, if I'm being bluntly honest, of guys who I think are NHL ready. There's some other prospects, but none of them that I would think are necessarily A-level prospects.
Our weekly check-in, or however often we get to talk to you, which we always appreciate, on the goaltending in Edmonton, where are things at as of right now?
To me, it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
You know, they went out, they got Ingram for basically nothing. He can play in the minors, doesn't count against the cap. He didn't have a training camp. We all know he got out of the NHL, NHLPA program in September. And so he's played 3 games down in the American League. His first game was really good. The other 2 have, hit or miss. Last night he made a great save, and then he let in a few goals from a guy who hasn't played lots. So he's going to need a lot of time, guys. I don't think there's going to be any real big change in the goaltending until they get close to the deadline. Calvin Pickard's numbers this year aren't as good as last year. Now, he played in a very good environment last year, and this year he's been playing in actually a pretty bad environment. The Oilers have been a lot leakier early on, so they'll tighten that up when he's in net, so that'll help him. But they're always on the lookout there. I think Stuart Skinner's another guy where he'll play well, and then you look at last night, the 3rd goal. Now, it bounced over a stick. Yeah, it's unlucky, but the team had just scored 2 goals, right? So you're like, hey, get behind the net, get your body behind it, not just your stick, like whatever. So those type of plays seem to happen every few games, and he's just got to reduce it. He's not a top 5 goalie, right? I don't think he was a top 10 goalie actually in 2024 under Knobloch if you look at all his numbers. So does he have potential in the right system? I just think he needs to be more consistent, and if he eliminates the big error, then you're fine. But if you're looking for Stuart Skinner to steal you games, he can. Ask Dallas fans in the playoffs. He's done it multiple times against them. He had multiple shutouts against Vegas. So he's capable of it in small samples. But he's not Shesterkin, right? He's not Bobrovsky. He's not a guy that you're going to look to Vasilevsky like every night to be that guy. He doesn't get paid to be that guy. I don't think he has the ability. And that's okay. Like, there's very few guys like that, right? Like the goaltending position, you look at it, look at guys' save percentage. I think the league average is .896 right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, wow.
We have to kind of adjust what's considered good in the NHL now because there's fewer shots on goal. Teams don't waste shots as much. So a goalie, their goals against average isn't much worse than we've seen in the past. Just their save percentage is down because there's fewer shots on goal in a game.
.895.
One more for me, Jason, and that is the departure of Paul Coffey. I did find it strange that he was not involved in any way, shape, or form. Ends up going back there. We know the history, and we know how emotionally attached he is. And it seemed to be working out. I mean, they go to the Stanley Cup Finals a couple of times here, and he's not there now. And I'm just wondering, that's probably surprises me more, Jason, that he's not there, especially with unfinished business that you think is less than 12 months away of trying to go to the 3rd Stanley Cup Final and finally win it. In your opinion, why is he not there anymore?
Well, I think it's multiple factors. I know Paul's back was bugging him a bit. I think that's a part factor. I also think Paul's a real old school coach in his delivery and approach, and Chris Knobloch isn't. And so I think at times there was a little bit of they weren't necessarily on the same page in how they approached the communication. And also Paul was like, he really did no video work, right? He was old school. He was more of like, I talk to players, I communicate with them, I pump them up, I criticize them, and equally, right? Like the players in the game, he was very, like, hey, you're good, just play your game, right? And the players appreciated that, but there wasn't a ton of video work. So I think it's a little bit more of probably stylistic. And I do know for a fact that his back was bugging him, and that became a factor at times. You're standing up on the bench all the time. So I think it was a little bit of a combination of both, is my understanding.
Great stuff as always when you come on our show, Jason. Thanks for doing this, man.
Anytime, boys. Who's winning today?
Oh, Jays, come on
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Touch up Blake Snell. We got this.
Yeah. We're closing out game 6.
But it must be a fun city right now. Enjoy it.
Appreciate it, man. It's been fun. Yeah.
Maybe game 7. But we will not be denied. That is Jason Gregor, Sports 1440 in Edmonton.
I'm going to go back a decade and give you the save percentage for goaltenders. League average save percentage. 915, 913, 912, 910, 910, 908, 907, 904, 903, 900, and 895 this year.
Yeah, nobody cares about goalies.
Valley, you're listening. I know you are. Help.
What are the biggest factors in that? I think if I'm going to guess number one, obviously players are better, shoot harder, shoot faster. I just don't think anybody wants to be a goalie anymore.
Wow, that's interesting. That's
like
a
I just
theory.
just don't think it's as sexy to be a goalie as it was.
First the referee,
They're
now
not
the
shooting just to
goalie.
shoot.
Honestly, like,
But
yeah,
they're
for
not
sure.
Guys are hanging onto the puck a lot more. Guys, the shooters caught up to the goalies. There's a while there where goalies owned us.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we need to figure out some things here.
You can't also deny the fact that the league has pushed so hard for offense,
Totally.
right?
They want offense in the game.
Offense,
We all do.
defense doesn't sell. It was boring. Open it. Whatever rule we could change was to go against the goaltender.
That's like the NFL. The NFL was like, hey, 47-42 is better than 16-13.
Yeah,
What if we
let's
just protect
stop like
quarterbacks.
Yeah, let's just stop the car crashes on our quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Every game.
How about we protect the guys who do the cool things?
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting idea for our game.
Yeah.
Protect the guys who do the cool things.
Hey, so yesterday I got a DM from a buddy of mine. Shout out Garen, and he said that we were talking about the goaltending with Valley yesterday, and he said I thought we promised after the Four Nations face-off, regardless of what's happening with Jordan Binnington's numbers during the regular season, whatever is happening, that we just said that he was the goalie. And I said it after the game when they won that against USA. He's just the goalie. Doug Armstrong's running this thing. He's just the starting goalie. And end of story.
That was a thing where it was like heart of a champion.
Yeah, like it's just we had all these. We've completely forgotten about all these conversations. I forgot about it. You guys forgot. He's just the
But
goalie.
he wouldn't even be in the conversation if I'd
No,
forgotten about it.
He's gonna be there.
He's going to be the
question
goalie.
is,
Starting
how
game
much
one is
faith
Jordan
will
Binnington.
you have in him
Tons.
going into it?
100 times. Tons.
Nope.
He's the only reason that we beat the States. He is.
A couple others, but okay.
I mean, Brady Kachuk on the doorstep, shooting in a wide open net.
Buddy, he was excellent.
If there's somebody that has played better than him over a long stretch going into February, he probably won't start.
It's like, who could that even be? I
But
asked
he'll be
Valley
there.
yesterday,
He'll
and
be
he was
there
like,
on a-
not sure. He's like thumbing through in the American League goalies.
It'll be on a
Yeah.
short leash.
Can we get Joey DeCord through customs?
Didn't we go through this in 2002 with
We went through
Marty?
it a year ago.
Sorry?
We went through it a year ago.
No, I'm just
Oh,
saying,
no.
though, didn't we not go through with this in the early 2000s between Curtis Joseph and
Yeah.
Marty Brodeur?
Cujo started
Exactly.
against Sweden, and they lit us up, and then they made the switch, and they went to Brodeur, and they ended up winning.
That's
Like
all
maybe-
that's
like-
all that's going to be played out.
It's like, put the good goalie in.
And
The guy we-
Binnington will be there. The question is,
By the way, no disrespect to Cujo. Martin Brodeur is just
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But, like, I just – and Patrick Waugh wouldn't go because he wasn't going to be the starter. People don't forget.
oh yeah, I
yeah.
forgot about
Yeah.
that.
that was
Oh,
in whispered
who was the
tones.
third?
Turn it up.
I
if you missed
didn't.
what Sam
Who was
said.
the
I
third?
didn't. I
Who
think,
was the third?
Eddie, wasn't it Eddie the Eagle?
Oh, yeah.
Luongo?
No, it was Eddie the Eagle,
Oh,
right?
Eddie.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the same coaching staff, the same managing staff, Jordan Binnington is starting game
The
one
funny
of the
thing is,
Olympics.
going into this year, it was like Binnington would have to post like an 870 and be terrible to not be on the team. And he's like posting an
He's like,
870.
oh, don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah. Although I need to check. I'm talking out of my
Yeah, it's a horrible start for the Blues.
Boy, they got spanked last night,
I don't
too.
get it. That's not remotely the same team I saw against Winnipeg last year.
Yeah.
No.
In the first round.
And not having neighbors, not having Robert Thomas, those are significant losses. Oh, sorry, Binnington is not an 870. He's an 863.
Game one. Game one in turn.
Paperback.
No, I was going to say in turn. It's not turn. It's Milan. Game one in Milan.
Do we need to do the / Cortina thing? We're calling it Milan.
I didn't even know about the Cortina
Yeah,
thing.
it's like
So,
Milan, Cortina.
well, anyways.
Okay, let's take
Dinner.
a quick break.
Sure.
When we come back, a couple of big signings.
Oh, yeah.
Huge signings. We'll get into who and where and how much when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Just mentioning before we went to break, some big contracts coming out, some new money surfacing.
Guys are putting the RFA in payday, huh? Like, what's this is all over the place now.
The Utah Mammoth signing Logan Cooley, who scored last night, to a $80 million contract, and he maxes that out at the 8 years, which will not be available soon.
Can I stop you right there? Does this not feel like this contract feel like a turning point for you? Like Logan Cooley got $80 million.
Yeah.
You know, like that is, he deserves it.
He's flashy.
It's a good contract. I like it. It's not too much, all that. But like, we didn't used to just say, yeah, a guy who's the, 30th best player in the league with the chance to be, or whatever he is, 40th, 50th, with the chance to be top 20 gets 80 million. It's different.
And just to finish it off, and then Dallas's number one defenseman, Harley, also gets an 8-year deal, which closes out, I think, close to $84.5 million. But just to get back to Cooley for a second, the first thing I thought about was the Jack Hughes contract, where we kind of went the same way. Like, what is he? Are we sure? Is this good? Tons of money. Are they nuts? Let's find out more about him. And sure enough, now everybody's sitting there going,
Best deal of all time.
He's playing for free.
Really good deal for New Jersey, and he's regretting it because he's better or flashier or has much more star appeal.
Oh, he's a $15 million player. Yeah.
Exactly. Like he could literally go into free agency today and ask for 14 or $15 million. Okay. Apparently Cooley's to Utah what Jack Hughes was to the Devils. So like, he's a talented guy. He can fly. But how good is he on a championship team? Is he the number one guy?
I think he has potential to be, a top guy. I do. I also think that there's a factor of your Utah. And you look at the Carolina Hurricanes, who are like so good and falling all over themselves for a top guy. Just to have a really elite guy who stays with the organization. And for them to lock up Cooley, not knowing exactly what his upside is, it's a pretty good bet, isn't it? The only thing is, like, RFA means nothing now, right? It doesn't seem – I know it's not nothing, but it doesn't – guys didn't get paid as RFAs. Everyone got bridge deals 5 years ago.
But they don't want to bridge Cooley into a $15 million contract.
That was the PK Subban thing, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, just for this perspective, like with the cap spiking, if they can get in on this
they're hedging.
Exactly.
Totally.
They're
They
just
have to bridge and
hedging
great
into that in 4 or 5 years we are stealing this guy at $8 million.
And, like, let's say
10
he
million.
doesn't become –
$10 million.
let's say he doesn't become what they hoped he'll be. 10 million is probably, if he gets them 75 points and he's an effective player, like 10 million is not crippling.
Yes.
Huberdeau's making 10 million on Calgary right
10
now.
and a half.
10 and a
who
half.
signed that contract?
Oh, I see.
Calgary.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
More specifically,
Anyways,
I see.
yeah.
the one thing that, again, I know we've discussed this on the show before, is like, which I think was a mistake on the league's part, is to just go and forecast the next 3 years of what the salary cap
It's
will be.
interesting. You think it was a mistake.
And that's all it did was just get all these agents out there to go, I want that new money.
Yeah.
I'm negotiating on that third
future
year,
money.
not on the first year. And it's changed everything. And I just don't understand, again, why the need to have, for the first time in the salary cap world and this brief history we've had of it, that you needed to go and tell everybody that the business is so great.
Because they're excited because it was flat for 100 years.
But I put on your tinfoil here.
But you could still say that it's moving and you're comfortable and everything's. But it's just when it's on paper, when you can physically see a number, it's changed everything.
Tinfoil?
Hit my tinfoil.
Let's go.
is that, put it on here, this is the NHL being like this is Bettman trying to help out the owners and saying, here's the cap's going to go up to 104 and then 113, and all these guys are going to, try for that new money and off that cap, and then the cap's going to be way higher than this. And these guys are going to be, they got in at the wrong cap. It's actually going to be 107, not 104. It's actually going to be 120, not 113. And I don't know that, but I think it's very possible that they see this massive spike coming and they're trying to cut the owners some slack here.
Well,
That's interesting.
He's also,
That's really interesting.
it's just the news of the expansion coming. Apparently everybody wants a team, and Gary's
He's so good on our show. He's like,
comfortable.
well, we're not pursuing it. They're pursuing us.
Come to Papa.
but I'll tell you what we're pursuing is a $2 billion price tag.
Yeah.
So maybe to your point that a nice healthy salary cap for the next 3 years will show everybody that it's worth the $2 billion business that we believe it is now.
Yeah. I mean, and also just those guys love cost certainty, right? Like, immediately what your operating expenses are and player costs.
The one thing that I will say is that there shouldn't be, or there is a perception now that because the salary's going up, everybody's percentages just have to go up with it. And it's like, no, even though the cap's going up, you don't have to automatically bump everybody up the percentage. You can still tell a guy this cap could go to 200 million.
Yeah.
But you're not a $6 million player.
And you say, look around you. Guys who have your stats make this.
Right.
Just because the cap's going up doesn't mean you're suddenly worth
Yeah.
more. You're worth what they're getting.
But it doesn't feel that way. It just feels like everybody's sitting there going, new money, I'm going to get my new money too.
Yeah, I do think it'll be interesting, particularly with those lower end guys. You don't want to be the team who gives a $1.5 million player $3 million because of the cap. You can still get those guys for $1.5 million.
I do worry about the haves and the have-nots coming back into play again, and who can afford the $115 or $120 million payroll.
What
and
you're
who can't.
What you're telling me is the popular teams that make a lot of money will be able to spend more and be better,
Wait.
and then the more people will watch because
That
the
sounds
team-
like capitalism.
It's like, it's like the number 1 payroll and number 4 payroll in the major leagues of baseball are playing in the World Series. What a concept! And it's record viewership.
I know, but that's
I prefer
Florida
and Carolina in the
That's
final.
why they shut down the game and canceled the Stanley Cup for the first time in history, is because they wanted to avoid that. And now
they wanted
coming
why?
back.
They want parity. They want
Well, I don't know. Call it whatever you want, but they just wanted a business model that didn't bury the have-nots. And it just, I don't know. Is
Sam wants
it
them
coming
6 feet
back?
deep.
I want fold them for all I care.
The only
Prune the hedges.
the only way to truly make money right now is you have to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You don't make the playoffs, you lose money. You make the playoffs, you make money. It's that simple.
Think about how much the Jays are
Love
doing
that.
right now.
Inspires people to compete.
Well, yeah.
It's good. You should be trying to win.
All right.
Try to win. Like that.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Harley?
Harley.
Team Canada's
Yeah,
best defenseman at the Four
yeah.
Nations face-off, you mean?
He hasn't-
Harles.
He's
Love
not,
Harles.
he's not playing great right now.
To
But
be honest, I've watched like 2 Dallas
yeah,
games.
no, he's
We're
not.
3
But
weeks in.
to me, this is a safe contract
Yeah.
for Dallas
Yeah.
because he is their best skater. There's
Ooh, Heiskanen's on that
well,
team.
I mean, yeah, him and Miro are
Yeah.
1-2.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a great skater. He's a minute muncher, and like he's going to be your guy that on most nights can play 23 minutes a night.
Dallas will have Thomas Harley, Miro Heiskanen, and Esa Lindell as their top 3 guys locked up for the next 4 years.
It's really good.
Nice.
It's really good.
Really nice. Harley is 24 and Heiskanen's only 26.
Really?
Yeah. Jeez.
That really surprises me. I thought
that
he'd be
guy
older
can
than
hockey, man.
Yeah, they're really good.
That
two guys are
Leon
unbelievable.
Bichel's interesting too. He's 21. He's a big boy.
You should check in with Turco, see what's going on.
Yeah, could use a Turco check in one of these days.
They got the 1-0 win last night
Yeah.
over.
Thrilling. 1-0.
I think everybody was wanting to go watch the World Series. Maybe. Get this thing over with.
Time to toggle and check it over.
Speaking of the World Series, a tweet today from Irvin Magic Johnson.
The actual one.
Yes.
Let's have it.
With the World Series being 2-2, Game 5 is very important.
Thanks.
Whichever team wins takes control of the series.
He's actually a legendary tweeter. He is the most defined voice outside Donald
he's
Trump.
done television before.
Great observation.
And you can tell why he doesn't do television anymore.
But this is like a thing. His Twitter account is absurd. It's like, who is that for?
Him.
No, but like, who's reading that? Like, oh, big game. You don't say. Large match
Hey.
coming up.
There's a few people on Twitter X, whatever,
Yeah.
like they like stating the obvious.
Yeah.
There's many people in our hockey world where I'm like, who is that tweet for? Right? You need to get something out there.
Yeah. I actually feel like that happens most frequently at like morning skate where they want people to know that they're punching the clock.
The nightmare is like the first day of training camp when it's like, this person's skating together. I'm like, no.
Jason
not yet.
Robertson, first guy on the ice for Dallas today. Oh, all right. Let me call my friends, see what they think.
They're just.
You hear about this Robertson thing?
But I'll take that over people taking pictures of themselves and posting it on Instagram.
What do you mean, a selfie?
What Instagram is?
Yeah, but like why? Like why?
Can
Just
I-
a picture of yourself
Can I tell you what I
to
don't
put
like?
it out there. Like
What do you mean?
We're off topic entirely, but when people post stuff on there,
I don't get it.
for other people, like say to their wife, so Sam will do that, and it's like, you live with her. Tell her.
I do.
Tell her happy anniversary.
Guess what? I do it every single day. I tell her how much I love her.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
It's
But
nice to
I-
do something out there in the public, Barney.
That one's even worse to me.
happy birthday
I'd
to my
rather find out
1-year-old.
who's on the
They
ice
can't read.
first. I'd rather find out who's on the ice first than see someone just take a selfie of themselves that has no meaning other
what
than
about it?
look at me, look at me, look at me.
What about one with a big fat dart in their mouth after they win the
yeah.
ALCS? Is
That's
that allowed?
legit.
You've got the look at me.
Is that allowed?
No.
That's legit.
Well,
All right.
it is. It's
All right.
It's of course
We're
it's
all our own
allowed.
brand here, but
It's of course it's allowed.
Listen, Kyper, not all of us played in the NHL and was on Hockey Night in Canada for 20 years, okay?
I'm caught between generations
All
because
right,
I get
all right.
roped into this stuff sometimes.
All right,
man.
keep branding yourself with
Buddy.
a dart in your mouth.
Listen,
Boy.
Simmer is
Dark
texting
guy
us
can
about.
get to your own radio show.
Buddy, listen, Simmer was texting us last night. He's like, "Go smoke a dart, Sammy." I'm like, "Oh my god."
Oh my, not a 2-2.
You're NGD.
No.
You're a new dark guy.
No,
By the way, respect to him. He did
I will definitely not be smoking a dart until Game 7 if they go that far. Anyways,
Game 7. So I wrote that article today
Yes.
about what's real and what isn't in the Atlantic Division.
Mhm.
And there's some fascinating standings right now, right? We're through 10 games of the season for pretty much every team, save for one or two. Some things that stand out around the league that are curious to me. St. Louis Blues dead last in the Central.
Yeah.
That's not real, right?
I think they're better.
Better than that.
Yeah.
The problem is Utah, Colorado, Winnipeg,
Yeah.
Dallas, Chicago's better. Minnesota's good. Just Nashville.
No,
for
there's
me.
more points closing the gap. And
It's-
that's what's happened in the Atlantic right now.
Yeah.
That if you truly believe that Detroit and Montreal or Ottawa or the same casts that have missed the playoffs the last few years are going to miss them, if they do, they're going to miss them by a whisker.
Mhm.
And it's going to be maybe in the last week again. And they're going to take their points off of the other big boys.
Cole Caulfield, another overtime winner. Montreal as a 727 points percentage.
Yeah, it's like
8-3-0.
3-on-3 though. Like he should be the best player in the world 3-on-3. He's so skilled, but like it's 5-on-5 that a few guys have had trouble with, and that's playoff hockey. 5-on-5. There's no such thing as 3-on-3 in playoffs.
Right. Got to get your points, though. Get
Oh.
yourself a good playoff
Yeah.
seed.
For sure.
Caulfield now up to 9 goals on the season.
Our thanks to Jason Gregor. When we continue, President of Hockey Operations, Don Waddell.
oh boy, we can tell me about the jersey.
I think he knows about it.
Okay.
Do we
No,
have,
we had him
do
since
we have
then,
the
no?
jersey?
Yeah, of course. It's not on the bus.
All right. One lone hockey game tonight. We'll get into that in our Leaf Hour edition. Don't go away. Welcome back to the program, the Real Kyper and Bourne Show, Leaf Hour edition. You are watching or listening all over the place. Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 590, The Fan in Toronto, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Our show is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. The Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. In a few minutes, or not, probably about
Half hour.
30 minutes, we'll welcome in President of Hockey Operations, Don Waddell, who is kind enough to send us the Cannon jersey. Not just any jersey, the Cannon jersey that we're sporting right now.
Vanna Whiting is poor.
For all of those watching our program, not just in the NHL, but all over the world, you want to send us a jersey? We'll gladly put it up on the wall.
Totally.
We handle them with extreme care.
Kyper is going to kill me for this.
That was the soundbite of our very own Sammy McKee, who lost Don Waddell's jersey on the TTC, only to have the TTC recover it for us.
Not only lost it, and then left for Hawaii with my phone off for a week. And then
reacquired it.
the first two messages I got on my phone when I turned it back on, a tweet about you guys talking about it and my nightmare, and then a text from a guy from the TTC saying they had it back to back. So
incredible
stuff.
In the meantime, the Toronto Maple Leafs will face Don Waddell's Columbus Blue Jackets tonight as the lone wolf game in the National Hockey League.
Yes.
Tonight on Sportsnet 1.
Why not the main Sportsnet?
We'll have
I'm not
the
sure. What's going
double
on?
split baseball hockey tonight. So Sportsnet has you covered. But last night, the pros and cons of the Toronto Maple Leafs, what you liked, what you don't like so far. Is that safe to say that we will focus on the positives?
Well, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but are we gonna?
Why not?
Okay.
Okay.
Are we doing something new?
Why not?
Are we doing something new?
Why not?
I mean, I'm going to.
You know what?
Oh my God.
People think we've already dumped on them a ton.
Why do you think they think that?
I wonder what would give him that idea.
Well, they're not that great right now.
Okay. Well, just
That's
don't act
why
surprised
I'm trying
by
to
it.
bring the positives.
Listen, they've won 2 in a row.
2 points last night.
And I'll tell you, regulation win. And if the whole plan this year is to get help from the depth, Max Domi shooting 2 in the net, awfully good. We talked about him yesterday.
There's the top of our show. Max Domi coming up with a game that he desperately needed.
Mm-hmm. Well-timed game as he was working himself into the headlines. The coach had to comment on him. We talked about him. There's no doubt that when he gets a look, you can shoot it.
Let's go to Craig Berube on Max Domi, clip 2.
He's been good. I mean, Max, for me, the last 3 games have been a different player. Like you talk about, just more engaged. And when he's an engaged player, he's a good player.
Is that why you double shifted him there?
Yeah, just offensive zone. You know, he's got a hot hand right now. He was getting a lot of opportunities at the net. He was competitive on the puck, skating with the puck. So that's why.
The thing you want to avoid as a player is ever having a coach tell you you're not engaged.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's not being called soft, but it's kind of in the family a little bit.
It's a cousin of soft.
It's a cousin. Yeah, you're right. Maybe a distant one, but
Second
it's-
cousin, twice removed.
Yeah.
But it's not a good thing
Yeah.
to hear a coach accuse you of not being engaged.
No, it's related to disinterested, related to, a lot of words that just like, oh, that's
Other
not going to
things
earn
on
me.
your mind.
Yeah. Not going to earn you more ice time, opportunity,
Yeah.
or money when people think you're that.
But no question, like Max was noticeable last night. The one thing that stood out most about Max Domi last night for me personally is he had, for maybe the first time I've watched him, a shoot first mentality to me. Like, he was not thinking about looking around and finding a different option.
Yeah.
He went in there and he shot the puck with purpose to score.
But so I don't know what to do with stuff like this because you don't want Max Domi to shoot first, do you? Like, I understand you don't want him to never shoot either, but
Well, the trick is to pick the times that you need to and then pick the times when you're not to.
a little from column A, a little from column B.
That's what makes players special or elite.
Yeah.
And, once upon a time, like, this guy was 12th overall pick. I know it was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
2012 maybe. But like, he was the 12th best 18-year-old in the world. That's like, there's skill there. There's high level skill there. And part of it is knowing when to shoot and when to pass, or at least playing the percentages of it.
It is really strange when you look at his career statistics and go, all right, 1 year in 22-23, he totaled 20 goals. One other time, out of the just such a weird blip, in 18-19, he had 28 goals. Otherwise, you look at his years, it's 9 goals. Last year was 8. Year before was 9. Like, he's not a goal scorer. But for a guy to be able to score almost 30 goals in the league, you can do it, right? Like, it is a mindset thing, Kip, and I don't know how. You know what? I'll also say this. Let me add that the complications for Domi is, as your role changes, you have to think differently, right? If you're going to be a depth guy playing 12 minutes, I assume that Montreal team, he was playing a much different role, 72 points. So, yeah, it's just, you're right. He can do it. He has a skill. He has to get in that sort of mindset. But I imagine it's hard for him when it's like, okay, I'm a role guy, I'm a depth guy, but also I need to be this guy.
But you're also told sometimes you're this guy, so you're going to play with this guy.
And you have to be,
Matthews.
and you also have to kind of be tough too.
Yeah.
And
Like,
you
you
got
need
to
to be
bring
the energy
attitude.
guy.
There's no doubt he's got the hardest what am I guy thing to figure out. And they ask him to be a little bit everything. And I do think that's uniquely challenging.
I will say that I think every Leaf fan watching that game thought that it was a minor miracle that he shot that puck. Because
One at the end of the game.
The one at the
I
end of the
was
game.
Sure was going to match.
Because he had Matthew Nyes in a pretty good spot with the hips open. And I'm like, oh, he needs the sauce one here. He's addicted to the sauce.
Oh, he loves the high sauce.
He can't wait to do it. And I think probably that's what Dustin Wolf was thinking too. And he, nice low blocker rips, scores a big goal for the Leafs, and he's fired up about it. It was awesome.
Yeah. No, it was a big moment.
As far as what else we saw last night of the Toronto Maple Leafs, let's go to Craig Berube's clip of his overview of the game, and then you'll get ours.
Yeah, I mean, I liked our game pretty much overall. I thought there was a lot of good things. There's obviously mistakes that happen, but I liked our bounce back. We were behind a couple times tonight, but we showed a lot of resilience and fought back, and kind of thought we had everybody playing tonight, everybody kind of going. Lots of opportunities at the net tonight, which is good to see. Pretty direct game overall. Yeah, there's things we can do better still, but overall, I was pretty happy with the game.
He got his coveted directness.
I appreciate a coach trying to stay positive and finding, like us at the beginning of the show, finding some good things early. But
at the beginning, you mean 8 minutes ago?
There's
another life.
There's not much there for me still out of their performance last night.
No?
To suggest anything's changed over what we've seen so far.
Well, Matthew Nyes was excellent.
I can't. Can I sit here and?
I'm talking about a team, not certain individual efforts. Right
but
now.
like
a team game.
You didn't think they were far and away the better team in that game?
Because
I did.
No, I did not.
You did?
I did. I mean,
I
they heavily outshot them for most of the game. They carried the possession for most of the game.
No,
like
I don't think they did carry the possession.
I thought felt like they.
I didn't even look at numbers.
I did. Very close. In terms of time with the puck, it was very close. In terms of Corsi was 50% each. They did get expected goals was actually in the Flames' favor. But it was pretty close all around. But I do think some of that is influenced by.
We are talking about. We are talking about.
Yeah, there was a
so far, bar by far the worst team in the league
Yeah.
last night.
I mean, you had said multiple times yesterday that you thought they were better than Buffalo. So
I not what I saw last night.
You didn't like the Flames last night, eh?
I loved Kadri.
Yeah.
Kadri could have given them a 3-0 lead by
the post.
himself
hit the post
last
times,
night.
Yeah,
But
totally.
look at the goals that the Leafs got, were Calgary Flames handing to them on a platter. They get a very emotional goal to tie the game late in the third period, and Uyghur puts it on a platter on the game-winning goal.
Mhm.
And it's like, this is not convincing for me just yet out of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
No, I do think that there is some growth that they're trying to find their way through. Like the neutral zone, they still have struggled with. We talked about that quite a bit yesterday. And then who was it, Frost or Farabee, that danced through for the first goal of the game?
It was Kadri entered the zone, passed it over to Frost. He shot it in off the post.
Well, before that, just, okay, if you want to go neutral zone, it's like trying to 6 feet inside their blue line, the Morgan Riley giveaway.
Yeah, that was
Right? Like, there's a lot of
Obviously very
giveaway
ugly.
goals last night.
Yeah. I'm thinking, though, like the one I'm talking about, the first goal, Joshua takes such a stinky angle. Like, you got to push the guy one way or the other towards the boards into your traffic. He's just bad angle.
That was Cowan, I think. in
Well,
the neutral
Cowan
zone.
also could have,
Yeah.
and then Cowan tried to pressure him at the red, still didn't stop him. Like, they still have so much work to do just to slow down the opposition. And
It does look, Calgary looked faster than the Leafs to me last night.
yeah, the team structure is still something we're waiting to see. I will say there's a good article today. Dom Lucian and The Athletic wrote about what changed when Berube took over. And they went from a team that was like expected goals, 52% pretty consistently last year to 49%, this year down to 47%. And you can win that way if you get all the high danger chances, but you can't let it get too far away from the 50% line and still claim that you're competitive with the big boys. And they haven't found a game yet where they really just, we said that yesterday, I wanted to see them just go win 5-2. Just go win going away. You're the better team. You're at home. That didn't happen. They did get the win. It feels to me like they're buying themselves time to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the numbers were close. I don't know. It felt like the Leafs had a lot of. I don't know. They're just listen. The Flames stink. The Flames stink, but like at least they're working hard and like I don't know. Dustin Wolf's a good goalie. Like,
But-
I'm not in a position to really sit here and be like, oh my God, they barely beat them. We're at the point where they just need to kind of stack up points to figure themselves out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're getting closer.
Here's the great news is like, there's 15, 20 teams that are all in the same boat right now, in my opinion, right
Yep.
now, where it's like we can nitpick a lot of stuff off of a lot of teams, but they are far from looking elite.
Yeah.
Like no signs of eliteness. I'm talking out of training camp, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a different conversation where I think you and all of people that talk to Leafs all the time have had the quiet conversations early in this year about them being a playoff team. Like, I think them being a competitive playoff team and them being elite are two different conversations. But I think over what I've seen over the last little while, that they're at least going to be a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
That they're at least going to be pushing for one of the 3 spots in the division, and that they're going to be a wild card team. But elite is a different conversation.
Right
for me,
now,
boys.
Sammy, they're
But
getting.
but they have the conversation was never they weren't elite the last 5 or 7 years.
Oh no, but this
In the height of Marner, Matthews, Nylander, there was
But
always
I mean, we had him as like
world
the
class,
7th best team, 8th best last year. I remember that
and
well.
now we have him 14th, 15th.
Well, no, I don't have that.
Where do you have them right now?
I think I said 12th last week. I'll give him
12th's low, bud.
It's not great. We're working on it.
You're talking about 6 or 7 to 12.
But
it's a drop.
It's a process.
Oh, okay, listen.
It's a process. I'm not expecting them.
Yeah.
You're the guy who set this whole year up as it's going to take them 20 games to find they're going to need to be patient. They're going to need to figure it out. That's the process.
If I saw different things out of them, I'd be more inclined to say that I'm comfortable on the process. But right now, again, the Farabee goal last night, where I'm not used to watching this blue line the last few years let a guy walk in on Stolarz. And
to be fair, the guy that did it hasn't been here for the last few years. So, and he wasn't very good last year.
Carlo?
He hasn't been very good. Yeah, I mean, he's been here for
But
less than a full season.
just go confront him.
Yeah.
Hammer him. He's cruising into the
Cross
slot.
check, something. But just to give him a red carpet to the net like that, like that's the part where that bothers me anyways.
Yeah.
That's not a process. That's just a guy that just refuses to do what he's supposed to do right now.
That was a strange play from Carlo. Talking about the whole shape of it all, two things right now that are happening that I don't believe are going to happen is they have the fifth worst goaltending in the NHL so far this season. I don't think they have the fifth worst goaltenders in the league. So I think they're going to get better goaltending. The next thing is they are 27th in power play. I don't think they're the fifth worst team in terms of ability to score with the man advantage. I think they're going to get better there. Don't you? Don't you think those
I don't
things
have a
would
lot
help?
of faith because it's going back to a third or fourth time on a guy like Morgan Riley who on 3 occasions you told him he's not good enough to be on the number 1 power play. So I don't know what's changing here. Is Morgan Riley going to turn elite on the power play now?
No.
But so where's the growth for you to be a middle of the pack power play or a top 10 power play?
Well, I mean, I hate to, bang the same drum, but Morgan Riley ran the power play when they were first in the NHL 3 years ago.
Yeah.
There's a way to have success with him on the power play. So, it's not like he shoots it
He's
the other
not that
direction.
player anymore, though.
You don't think he's the same guy as 3 years ago?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. And I don't know if he's gotten slower or the league's gotten faster.
Well,
but something's happened.
That would be a development that you would have to sort out and say, can OEL do it better? And if not, can Nylander do it? And if not, do we need someone in here who can do it?
Leafs are 27th in the league in power play at 14.8% success rate. Would you like to hazard a guess at 2 of the teams that are behind them?
Yes. Columbus?
Tampa Bay is behind them at 14.3. You know who's the worst power play in the league?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Carolina.
10%. Yeah, you're right.
You know,
I do remember reading that.
You know what's fascinating right now is, remember they signed that Nick Ehlers deal? Nick Ehlers hasn't scored yet in Carolina.
Wow.
Isn't that nuts?
Anyways, not
He's
to get too sidetracked, but I think if you're looking at the Leafs power play, there's 2 ways to look at it with the Lightning behind them, with Carolina behind them, that like it's early in the season and these things figure themselves out. There's one way to look at it, but I think watching it is another way to look at it.
Yeah, also they got a power play goal last night, and it wasn't off good power play process.
No, it was a bunch of bounces that landed up in front of the net.
Coleman gave it away in the
Yes.
they've had, Calgary had possession like it seemed like all night, and then they handed.
Well, that was the one that Matthews caught and put down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've said this 100 times already this year, and I've brought it up to you two guys, but the top unit is full of guys that want to shoot, and the second unit's full of guys that want to pass. Why not take a couple of the passers, put them with the shooters, and put them with the shooters, put them with the passers?
Sugar and salt in the recipe, you say?
Yes, maybe a little frosting on the pumpkin pie. I guess it's that time of year. Maybe I don't know. It's just feels disjointed. What can I ask you? What are they trying to set up?
Yeah, we've done this
I know,
conversation.
but do it again.
Austin.
But are they? Did they execute that once?
When's the last time he hit? When's the last time he hit?
When he scored.
That's it. But that feels like a handful.
I'd be curious how many one-timers he has on the power play this year. I bet you it's less than 5.
I don't know. Just it doesn't feel like there's any.
To Sam's point, it isn't clear what they're trying to do as a vision. And I also will note that I have seen college hockey power plays where people are rotating, switching positions, moving parts. It doesn't seem like these guys are trying much, but get it to the net. Anyway.
Let's get Craig Berube's thoughts on his power play. Clip 3.
The PKs broke down, right? So that's where you take advantage of them by getting things to the net and outnumbering them. The other power plays, I thought there was some good stuff that went on. It just seemed like the shots got, I don't know if they missed the net. I got to watch them, rewatch them, or if they got blocked or what it hit. But, I like the idea of Matthews coming downhill and shooting those pucks. And Willie was on the goal line tonight. So, I like that look where, Matthews can rip it. You got a couple big guys to the net, or you can go to the goal line with Willie. If there's an opportunity, Willie can make a play. They're all looking at lefties, right? So, again, we're just going to keep banging away at it.
That plan is a perfect, a guaranteed 18% power play to me. That's, you have big guys who shoot it. You got more guys on the ice, some talented guys. They'll get it to the net. They'll outnumber them. They'll not be the worst team in the league. They'll finish at like 18%. That'll be like 17th best. But if you want, they have so much more talent than that.
Yeah.
They could do so much more than that. And I don't, what do you think of the idea of taking one of these guys off it for a Michelli or a Domi?
Yeah, I think they're close to Sam's point of just like you're doing it 5-on-5.
Mhm.
So why not have a little bit of that on the power play, that mentality of I'm just gonna shake it up and see what comes about.
Other thing I am curious to look at, which I haven't done statistically yet, is break-ins, because that was something Marner did very well for them, is get them set
entries,
up.
yeah.
The entries. I don't know if they're getting it set up as often, but I'll look into that for next show.
Yeah, just for me, Nyes and Riley off top unit, Michelli OEL or Domi OEL top unit for 4 games.
Yeah.
Just let me see it.
So
They did it in Buffalo the night of the game, and he gave away one right for a shorty, and it's immediately off. But you're allowed to watch the other guy beat it to a square all season. It's like
it is funny.
try it one more
big
time.
Mistake.
Holy,
Yeah.
try it again.
The one where it was Farabee that went to the net and slid it under Stolarz without shooting it. That's my first Stolarz moment where I'm like, oh, you just never saw that last year.
No.
That one, was that a product of guys bowling him over all year? Is that like fear as another guy barrels down on him, or?
Yeah, I'm not.
But it was.
I don't know goaltending that well.
It was shocking to me how quickly I was like, I wonder how soon Wall's ready. He's been with the Leafs again for 4 days, and I was like, how long?
Yeah.
No,
there's a couple of different looks. That definitely is one of them.
Not as aggressive. It feels like.
Seems like more rebounds now for me. It just seems like, remember how sometimes no matter what, he just absorb everything and get a whistle?
Yeah.
Now it's kind of a little loose right now.
Before we move on to the next topic, just want to remind people, Real Kyper and Bourne are playing in the Eric Lindros Celebrity Classic in support of Easter Seals Ontario. Nick and Justin, along with other Sportsnet personalities.
It is very funny that you're other Sportsnet personalities.
Listen, I am. You're looking at one. We'll be taking the ice to raise money for this great cause. You can support our team fundraising by scanning the QR code on your screen right now. So scan that, support our team, raise lots of money for a fantastic cause. And you'll hear stories the following Monday about my absolute
and my blown Achilles. How fast?
No, don't
Good
say
Lord,
that.
What level of effort are we talking about here? What's the pace of this?
You're emailing it in. I'm telling you right now.
No, listen,
I won't allow that.
I'm ready to go to war for you here.
You're in great shape, brother. Look at you.
I know. I'm ready for the post whistle scrums with Kip. I'm in there. I'm in there. Don't worry.
Anyways, so scan that QR code that's on your screen right now and donate to our team. Fantastic cause. Easter Steels Ontario.
Yeah.
Let's go. If you want to text 590-590, you can suggest names for our line. I had someone throw a couple of anything you'd like to name our line. We'd like to hear that.
I have no idea. I'm trying to think of the initials of our.
Can I just add one more plug here for our Leaf alumni?
Yep.
Yes.
I am playing in this game November 28th at Scotiabank Arena, the Shoresy Classic.
Oh, I gotta go. I'm coming to watch.
So Shoresy and Terry Ryan Hitch, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
So
shout out Terry Ryan.
Letterkenny.tv for tickets. Apparently it's getting close to a sellout or something. I mean, these guys are pretty popular.
I got to tell you, I'm really excited that there's not going to be an audience for our games.
Oh, there'll be an audience. There's people there. Yeah, for sure. What else did I put in here? Did you guys want to talk about the turnover from Riley, or did we?
Yeah, no, I do.
You want to hear what Berube had to say about it?
Yep.
Let's go. Clip 4, please.
I get what Morgan's thinking. His deep partner will jump a little bit. That's an easy play, but he didn't. So got turned over, and then it's in our net. Like, I mean, overall, like, you can say, well, Morgan can turn it over, but the other, his partner probably should read that and be available. It's an execution play, right? We didn't execute on it, and they capitalized on it. So,
That's actually the most I've ever heard Berube get a guy's back and try to pick him up publicly.
Listen, he wants to protect Morgan. We think Morgan's made some strides, right, for getting more engaged in the offense. And
Sorry, I'm still just laughing at Phil Myers being like, what?
He's like, he fired a hand grenade across the ice without looking at it.
This really comes back to just managing the clock
Yeah.
and playing safe and just.
But they're telling him they don't want him to play safe.
You got to be 90-10 that you're going to get a D-to-D pass. It's this is late in the third period here.
But
you're trying to protect the lead.
He's your highest paid guy. You're supposed to be a leader. You
allowed to make a play. I just think that the most important thing is to know what you're supposed to do, right? What is your role? We talked about how it's hard for Domi at times. You need to know predictability is something important. What are you asking Morgan Riley to be if he can't make a D-to-D pass? It's like
safe. I'm asking him to be safe.
But you also are asking him to score 60 points because you don't get any other offense from the back end. So be up in the play, but also don't be up in the play.
I just want you to be good and reliable. That's what I'm asking you to do.
Be good's a tough.
You can't sacrifice.
Be good
because you're asked.
I can't.
Because you're asked to put 60 points up on the board doesn't mean that you get to have some wiggle room on dangerous passes.
Yeah, it looked bad. It's tough.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
what
torn
you're
on
trying to
should
say.
Myers go up? Should he fall back? Should Riley? I mean, they got a guy behind them.
What happens if he's lost an edge? What happens if something happens and he doesn't do it?
Yeah.
Then you're just going to still say, hey, I know you lost an edge, but you still should have been there. Like whatever the case is, a brain cramp, a lost edge. If you're not there, you're not there.
Yeah. We should go.
Let's do game time.
Okay.
Yep. It's game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. It's 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Like Magic Johnson said, game 5 tonight, very important. Very important game for both of these teams. Nervous. Got to be honest with you, boys. Woke up nervous today after that win. I was excited. Woke up very nervous today. The Jays, who have been pretty significant underdogs in every game so far, as I quickly pull it up here, that trend continues. Tonight, with Blake Snell on the mound, the LA Dodgers are minus 205 favorites going up against the Toronto Blue Jays, who are plus 170 on the money line. They have Trey Savage, who every day I'm like, God, it's a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask. And again tonight, it is a lot to ask from the kid. He's been seemingly up to the moment, so we'll see.
What do you think the Jays' odds of winning this game are? Like, it's close to 50-50. If you think they're a 45% chance, then that line of plus 170 is very advantageous.
And if you want to get in on the Jays right now to win the whole thing, which is a best 2 out of 3 now with 2 games at Rogers Center starting Friday for game 6 and potentially a game 7, the Jays are plus 150 in the series.
150?
Plus 150 in the series. Man. Dodgers are minus 180, which isn't an awful number if you're considering a happiness hedge, which I will not be doing. But the Toronto Blue Jays plus 150 for the rest of this series.
I think their odds are better than that, man.
I do too.
I really do. What I'm saying is I think that's, if you wanted to bet, that's pretty good.
We did Jays in our first hour. If you want to hear our Jays takes again, you can go back to our first. But if they can win that game last night, they can win any game. And I'm really done.
Heart of a champion.
Heart of a champion, man. Yeah. To win that game is unbelievable.
I just don't see them denied. Like, they've just got this. It doesn't matter how. 18 innings.
It's crazy when they've done it as a team and they've hardly been healthy. Like, I don't think they'll have Springer tonight. I bet you Springer's there for game 6.
I would say that
Bo can't run.
This team is grit. It's gritty. Yeah. It's a gritty group, and I love them dearly.
Mark Messier, he is anytime you went past first overtime, it's like, boys, I don't care if we have to be here all night. Mm-hmm. We ain't losing. And it was like almost like, okay,
that's
so
settle in.
That like those words were just like it calmed the whole room down, because it's like, okay, you don't have to go out there and think you're going to be a hero on the very next shift. It doesn't matter. It's just like, okay, first shift, third shift, 100th shift, 1,000th, it doesn't matter.
Same effort.
And that was the exact same thing you got out of now the Blue Jays. It's like they don't care. 18, 20, 12, 9.
And that's what makes their offense so good is that they'll be patient. They'll work counts. They'll get starters out.
Or if Tyler Glasnow hangs a first pitch curveball, Alejandro Kirk's going to smash it over the fence.
See ya.
So anyways, that was Game Time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. It's 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Okay, let's take a quick break. When we return, the president of the hockey operations, general manager for the Columbus Blue Jackets, Don Waddell, who was kind enough to send us this beautiful jersey behind our very own Justin Bourne. Did he find out about the story of Sammy almost losing it?
Boy, I hope not.
We're about to find out after these commercial breaks. The Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, and our Cannon jersey. You know, we're a Leaf Edition show. I mean,
All about the cannon, baby.
We haven't had the Leafs jersey up in 3 weeks.
Are we cheating on the Leafs here by having a Columbus jersey on?
No, you know why? Because we love when Don joins us. Don always gives us the
we
goods.
love when anybody sends us a free jersey.
Well, you can even eliminate jersey from that. We just like free stuff. I think that's true.
But it is a good-looking jersey.
Well, you can tell the man himself.
Yes, we are going to tell the man himself as he joins us. Don Waddell, president of hockey operations, general manager of the Columbus Blue Jackets, now joins us. Don, we're a Leaf Edition hour show, but we've got the Cannon jersey right behind our Justin Bourne, and it looks good.
I'm glad you're able to put it to good use, at least when I'm on the show.
Did you happen to hear the story of the jersey when you sent it, how our very own Sammy McKee lost it? Did that ever get back to you?
Yeah, well, I actually heard your show when he left him in the taxi. I have to admit, I do pay attention a little bit to you guys, So
That's
I did
awesome.
hear the whole story that day of the morning that afternoon.
That is awesome stuff. Well, we certainly appreciate it. And in the meantime, let's talk about your team a little bit that came oh so close to a playoff spot last season, only to be disappointed at the end. But the thought of picking up where you left off and expectations, and what have you seen so far out of your start that sits at 5-4-1?
Yeah, well, going back to last year, the 2 days after we had fallen short of our goal, these players were decimated. A lot of people, were congratulating us on getting through the year and having a successful year, but we didn't look at it that way, and our players certainly didn't. So, that's why I said I didn't think we needed to make a lot of changes. A few areas we wanted to address. And when the players came back this year, it's just a completely different vibe in the locker room. These guys are proud athletes. We had great leadership, good young players, and they know they came a little short last year, and they don't want to let it happen again.
Well, it's, you guys have had a tough start to the year in terms of schedule. You've played a lot of challenging opponents, and you find yourself above 500. Part of that is probably due to goaltending. I think at 5-on-5, you guys have the second best save percentage in the league as a team. What do you make of your team's improved goaltending this year?
Well, I think, having two guys that you could be one starters, there's great competition, friendly competition, but great competition. And we've been able just to rotate them every other game. And I think with the schedule, like you said, being difficult and with all the travel, this is a 2-goalie league. The days of somebody playing 60, 65 games, I think are pretty much behind us. Maybe a few guys still do it. But so I think our goaltending has been outstanding. It's given us a chance every night to win. And that's all we can ask for. And, some nights are going to be really good and steal some games. And other nights we're going to have to score more goals for them.
There seems to just be, at least for the first 10 games, that there is a clump of teams that just are right there in the middle. And you hope at some point there's a separation, no different than you looking at your hockey club. But, if does it feel different to you as a general manager, or is this probably the trend that we've seen the last little while, and what ultimately will separate the Columbus Blue Jackets from that mushy middle?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is something we're going to probably see for a while because, let's face it, the parity in the league. if you go back to look at what happened this summer, it's probably the fewest transactions ever made in the summertime, because years past, there's always been some teams in some cap trouble and trying to move some contracts, and it wasn't the case this year with the cap going up. So, I think what you're seeing is what we're going to be the norm going forward. Saying that, for us, we feel like we've played pretty good hockey this year. You could have had another win or two here and be sitting a couple games over 500, but we need to make sure that we show up every night. When we play hard, Dean's got them playing hard, and when we play hard and play the game that we're capable of playing, I think we're a pretty good hockey team, and continue to get the goaltending that we've gotten. And the other thing is too, we still have some guys that haven't really produced a whole lot offensively, and we know that's going to come. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, Sean Monahan, one of those guys. I think he's got 24 shots on goal this year, and it hasn't gone in the net for him. It certainly should at some point. When people maybe don't watch as much Columbus Blue Jackets hockey as they should, who do you think that they don't know about, that they're maybe missing out on someone that you guys, that does a great job?
Wow, Marchenko is unbelievable. He carried us the first 4 or 5 games where he was on fire there. He's one of those guys that can make a difference every time he's on the ice. And then the big other Russian, Voronkov, has been really good for us. I think he's got 5 or 6 goals right now. It's a big body, he stands in front of the net, and he's hard to move. But, the way I look at it, we're a complete team. Last night we were in Buffalo and we won in overtime. We had a power play goal, and our fourth line scored our 3 other goals. Miles Wood had 2, and Chinakhov had 1. So you're going to need, in this league, playing back-to-back games and as many games in a few days, you're going to need all 4 lines to be able to contribute. And right now we're getting that.
You're watching and listening to Don Waddell, President of Hockey Operations, General Manager of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Don, we saw some rule changes, obviously, with the new CBA, particularly on the ability or inability to trade for players, especially if you load up in the playoffs, and how it counts against your salary cap. How has this affected general managers in general, first and foremost, and then more specifically to you when it comes to wants and needs to take your team to the next level?
Right. I don't know if it'll have as big effect as some people thought when it first came out. There's very few teams that are right up against the cap right now. And, when we talk about Columbus, we have lots of cap space. So if we need to make a deal and the percentage of the contract is X, we're going to be able to fit it into our salary cap. So I think a lot of teams are in that same boat. So, it may not have as big as effect right now with the cap continue to, go up like it's going up. So, this is like a test year for a lot of things for all of us. And, we'll see how we'll be talking about this in April and the season ends, how it all worked out.
So does that mean the Chinakhov for Nick Robertson deal is dead that Elliot Friedman keeps telling us about?
I have no idea what you're talking about. We got a player that we really like. We had a tough time down the stretch last year, got a healthy scratch a few times, and just felt that, maybe a change would be necessary. And like I've told him and his agent, it's not the first time in my career that somebody's asked for a trade. Probably came more public quicker than some of them have. But, like I said, we don't need to win a trade, but I need to fill a position here, because right now we're healthy in our top 9, but as soon as you lose a guy, we know Chinakhov can jump up there and play in that group. So, we're being patient, and right now he's playing, scored another big goal for us last night. So, we'll just see how it all rolls out here in the next little bit.
One thing here, we have you on in our Leafs hour, and I don't know if you know this, but last year, Werenski outscored the Leafs decor. What's it like having a guy like that? He had 23 goals to the Leafs decor, which had 21.
At first, I didn't know that stat, but I will say about Werenski last year and the way he's coming on right now is, the first 3 months of the season, we would not have even been given any hope if Zach didn't have the start he had. He took this team right on his back, and you can see it. Last night, he made a great play in overtime, the score the overtime goal. He's an elite player, great skater, big time competitor, and he wants to be the best. And when you have somebody like that plays 27, 28 minutes a night and leads that back end, you feel pretty good about your hockey club.
Yeah, I mean, and he's such an important piece of it. So the one thing with your season so far, I would say that you guys are probably looking to improve on. I believe your combined power play and penalty kill percentages are suspect, near the bottom. What what are the next steps to get that back to where you want them?
You're being kind, suspect.
Yeah.
Last week we were already around 8% around the power play, 50% penalty kill. So we've improved a little bit from last week. But it gets frustrated. Power play sometimes it's a bounce here and there. Penalty kill is a whole different story. We work at it every day. Dean emphasizes it. We talk about it. We've changed a little bit up there, changed some of the personnel on it. Our penalty killing probably has cost us all our losses. We gave up 3 one night shorthanded or when we were killing. So it's something that we were very much aware of. We know this is a special team league. There's lots of power plays every night, and you got to be able to score, but you also got to, more importantly, be able to defend. And we need to get there.
As far as some special young players in the league, we're watching it yet again in San Jose, with Celebrini, Will Smith, and you got a guy in Fantilli and Kent Johnson as well. And we saw Fantilli have a big night against the Leafs last season. And just, his start, his overall growth, what can we expect out of Adam tonight?
Well, I think, he's going to be excited to play in the Leafs, obviously, hometown kid. But, with all these young players, and, Adam's had a little struggle this year. He started squeezing a stick a little bit. These young players, it's all about points right now for them. That's how they're going to get their big contracts. And we've talked to Adam and talked to his representation multiple times about this. The way you're going to get more points is earn more ice time. If you play on both ends of the ice, coach believes in it, you're going to get more ice time, which is going to lead to offensive opportunities. So I know Adam's excited about playing Leafs. He always did. So I expect him to be ready to go. And, we need him to have a big night for us.
Don, we always appreciate your time on the show, and we'll prove that by keeping your jersey up there for a little longer. Great catching up with you, and all the best of luck to you moving forward. Thanks.
Great. Always a pleasure to be with you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Thanks,
Don Waddell. Interesting comment on Fantilli for me, listening to him. And, this may fall on the Logan Cooley contract, is that, I can only just talk to you about my experiences when I broke into the league. And it's like, just make the team, man. Even the first rounders. Just making the team was a big deal. Getting a jersey, getting a locker, getting a number that doesn't look like a football jersey number. Those were big deals.
Not number 53
Now,
that Cowan's rocking right now.
listening to Don, these guys want their points. They want their points because they want their $80 million contract in year 1 or 2 or 3, which that they can earn.
Yep.
And it's like, whoa, man, that's just a different world right now. And he's sitting there going, hey, Fantilli, you want your points. You better earn your ice time first. Don't think about points. Go back and think about, earning it or staying in the lineup and just crawl before you walk before you run here.
Yeah, you guys know I'm doing that Daryl Sutter book. I spend a lot of time with Daryl talking about this and how there's this progression for young players today. And it is make the team, and then it's get your money, and then it's help the team win. And as a coach, you need to fix that, right? Like you need to be like, yeah, make the team, help us win. If you win, rising tide raises all boats. You'll get your money, you'll show your value, all that. But it is easy for for a young guy to see another young guy and go, oh, points equals money. Because to some extent it's true, but you need to get them to think about the hockey club.
And we are in the Leaf Edition hour, so let's just tie that right back to maybe where the issues kind of started for the Leafs. Is you had Austin, you had Mitch, you had Willie, and what did they do?
Yeah, they the numbers.
I need the numbers. I need the numbers. I get the contract. I get the term. I get this, and it's like that's your Daryl Sutter example right there.
Yeah, totally, and it totally is. And you can see how hard it would be to convince guys. Because really, you want to win a Stanley Cup, but a lot of these guys, be nice to put 20 million in the bank and then worry about, the cherry on top. I think the point is that it's not supposed to be the cherry on top. It's
Okay.
supposed to
I
be.
do love Fantilli, though. He
Oh,
scored,
no,
and he
he's
scored
fantastic.
31 times
Okay.
last year. He's a stud.
So, in our chat room, we're gonna
Chat room.
yeah. Our
Group
chat-
WhatsApp?
Our group chat.
Oh,
what's that?
Chat room.
I don't know. What do you call it? I don't
chat.
even know what to call it.
I thought we were doing
Okay.
ICQ here. all of a
So,
sudden.
group chat.
just to take this, just to
Throwback.
take this subject or conversation towards baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Who sent the clip of Bichette?
The quote?
Oh,
I
McKee.
think it's from Ken Rosenthal's piece. I sent
Okay.
it in there. Would you like me to read
Yeah,
it?
I do, because it falls into what we're talking about.
So this is
Kif is
this is an excerpt.
like that quote.
This is an excerpt from Ken Rosenthal's piece. Bichette is adamant about contributing, even though he is less than 100%. Even as he prepares to become a free agent for the first time, he figures that if he suffers a setback, the worst case scenario is that he will accept a short-term deal, then rebuild his value next season at age 28. But to win a World Series, he said, I'll risk it all.
Dump cold water on Kip.
Oh,
Dump,
my
here.
God.
Dump your water on Kip.
I love that.
Buddy, how could you not?
Buddy, I told you. Baseball is turning into the hockey, and the hockey's turning into the baseball.
God, I think he's right.
The Jays literally have a hockey player on their team. Ernie Clement lit it up in
Another
high
example
school.
that goes, I want to win. I want a championship. I want to be known as
I'll
a
rebuild
world.
my value down the road.
my
Just give me a chance to win.
Just give me a chance.
Wait, that just brings tears to my eyes.
He ripped one off the fence the other day and had to
Single.
somersault to first base for a single. It's like I can't
Right?
put any weight on this.
That's pretty cool.
Not to do.
It's really cool.
I mean, we got 2 minutes left. We're doing full baseball now because we got 2 minutes left in the show. His bat's coming around.
Yeah,
Yes.
I said it also in the what do you say in the chat room before the at bat. I said Bo's going to run into one here. And he
Jays are
ripped
he's
going
coming
to
around.
sign him.
Yeah, I
Jays are
agree.
signing him.
I agree.
At
Not
this
a
point, how can you
chance.
not? If he'll stay,
Not a chance.
yes.
Okay.
I think he likes it. I
And
think he
you
wants
know
to be a
what?
Blue
But
Jay.
this year should
Listen.
have convinced him. You can win here.
This is not me sucking up to the boss. Okay. But through all of this, it's been really, really quiet on Edward Rogers. But this guy is going down right now as a guy that paid to win.
Oh?
Anything. Vladdy,
Yo.
Trades.
Scotch, what you
Yeah.
said. Sorry. now I'm sorry. Ed, yeah.
Ed Rogers.
Yeah.
Scherzer, $15 million, no problem.
Yeah.
Vladdy got him done.
Boy, that contract came around, eh?
and
That
he-
Scherzer deal?
He
No
he will
kidding.
sign Bo because I think, say what you will, whether he's a sports guy or he knows or not, Bo's a talent. You don't get rid of talent.
And when you go to the
Special talent.
when you go to the Rogers Center, and boy, have I been there a lot this playoffs.
He's someone to watch.
It's Vladdy, it's Bo, it's Springer. Those are the three most jerseys you see. People beloved. He is
Yeah.
beloved in this.
And
city.
this is
Yeah.
a team that can run it now for the next 5 years.
How old is
7
Kirk?
years.
You could tell me 17 or 48, and I'd say
and they
I
just
believe it.
signed him to a 5-year contract, like great value deal. in
13
this
million?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
13
my
million.
God.
And like they got great value, and they bought low on him coming off a bad year, and he had an unbelievable year. He could be the World Series MVP. He's been unbelievable.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Woo!
Back at it.
What's
Are
up?
we auditioning for a baseball show too?
We could be Overdrive. We could go ahead and become a multi-sport show. We could go.
No.
You want to go
no.
more time?
No, they don't get summers off. They don't. They complain to me all the time.
That's a good point. We don't want to
They
become a
do. They go,
multi-sport show.
how can we be more like you?
Yeah, be
I
more.
told them, first of all, move your
specialist.
show to 4 to 6, and you can compete against us.
How much money do you think Ernie Clement makes?
Oh God, you're gonna say it's
I want
like.
to say 1.2.
1.9.
Ugh,
Okay.
he's
And
been worth that
good value.
per game.
He's under team control.
Is he
and he's
UFA?
out. No. His contract makes him a free agent in 2029. Under team control for 3 more seasons.
Oh, poor guy. I hope he gets paid.
Catch your breath,
I hope
everybody.
He gets paid.
We got a lot of sports coming up your way.
Go Jays, baby.
We
Go
got-
Jays.
Leafs and Columbus,
We got another. I said 5-2-5-2 yesterday, and I got 4-3-6-2. Not bad.
and first pitch 8:05.
You got it, bud.
5-2-5-2.
Our thanks to Jason Gregor in our first hour and Don Waddell. Give me a score.
5-2-5-2.
5-2-5-2. Works for me.
4-3 Jays.
Enjoy your night, everybody. We're back talk all about it again tomorrow on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show.